YouTube, what is up? Tonight, this is Nail Goodfella Nail coming through with another talk video. What is up with y'all, man? I am finally back. I've been I laid low for the whole Black Friday weekend and everything, as far as YouTube go and all that stuff, man. Just took a little small little pit stop break, and you know, and I just want to actually enjoy the weekend and not worry about anything. So, you know, it wasn't only YouTube that I kind of like put a pause on for the weekend of Black Friday, and it was also me working for myself as well and all that stuff. So it was like a pause on everything. It was just like, you know what, just enjoy the weekend, whatever. Don't record, don't do nothing really, just, you know, have fun basically outside of what I already consider fun, you know, or something that could seem more, I don't know, time consuming or whatever. Or, you know, I want to actually have fun and play like a few video games and stuff. So with me, I'm late to the whole PlayStation 4 bandwagon. And I finally got some games like on Black Friday and stuff. Some of these games old as hell, but I ended up picking up on them. And yeah, so I'm gonna just start with a few of these. Now tonight's talk is going to be about the influence of like this whole 90s wave and stuff like that. So I'm quite sure you see that in the title. But just real quick, what I picked up for PlayStation 4, I just got my PlayStation 4 like a few weeks ago, you know what I mean? Like, I've been really literally PlayStation 3 in it all the way out. There's no diss or nothing against Xbox or anything, because I had the first Xbox that came out, had a PS2, and you know, I just been getting my grown man on. That's why I really just didn't too much get into like consoles deep hard like years ago, you know what I mean? Like, I never really found the time to play video games. So, you know, but usually around this time, Black Friday, Thanksgiving, all that stuff, around that time, November, and Christmas and all that stuff, I started playing video games heavy. And yeah, so basically, I don't know, man, it's just kind of like tradition for me. So first thing I got was, I haven't even played this yet, I just installed it, and that is the Show 18. Now, I think this was probably like 20-25 bucks, something like that, maybe 26. This going on the PlayStation Network for around that much. This might have been 20 though, but I haven't played this yet. I know, right? Kind of odd, like, who still play baseball? It was fun on the PSP, so I want to just give it a try back when I had PSP. But it was fun on PSP, so I wanted to just give it a try on PS4. This is an outdated one, but I've always been like a GTA fan. This GTA 5. Got this for, you know, cheap or whatever for Black Friday. It was kind of crowded, but I went to Best Buy to get my stuff. But it was kind of crowded, but I ended up just getting my stuff, and that was it. And really didn't too much have a problem, you know, because most of this stuff is already stuff people already should have if they wanted it anyway. Madden 19. I gotta get back good at Madden again. NBA 2K18, I mean NBA 2K19. I'm actually currently playing this now. Oh, and as far as my game tag go, I mean, it's what is it? Yeah, it's Nail Goodfella on there. Okay, because sometimes I get confused. You know, y'all know I say Goodfella Nail Goodfella, and then we got South Park, Fractured Butthole. Now, I ain't that good yet to go against people yet as far as the sports games, so, you know, y'all can add me or whatever, but I ain't gonna go against y'all yet. I definitely want to, though. I don't want to get my ass spanked yet. I still gotta get good. And last but not least, as far as another physical game I got is Detroit. This game goes fucking hard, you know what I mean? This is the shit right here. I'm like, as far as games I'm deep off into now, I'm deep off into this right now. And then second is Spider-Man. I just downloaded Spider-Man, and The Last of Us off PlayStation Network for PlayStation 4 HD version for $6. And like I just said, Spider-Man was like $39 and some change. And because the regular price on it is like $60. I'm usually against downloading digital games. I'd rather just had a hard copy of games. But if I could, especially if I could get a deal. But you know, man, that Spider-Man, like, they was not having no deal on it at Best Buy, at least where I was at. So anyway, enough of that. I know y'all probably came here for the talk, so my talk is tonight is on, and it's not even gonna be long because I'm already like 5 minutes deep. It's on the 90s wave that's came in. Like, why these big brands putting their stuff back out, like Tommy and all that, Champion. To be honest, the people that made that back like popular is people like me. And what I mean by people like me is not only just me, it's people that was thrifting. So a lot of what you see now as far as 90s fashion go, I think a lot of people they start shopping at the thrift. Okay, at the thrift you got a whole bunch of those 90s brands and 90s clothing, those 90s pieces you can only just find at the thrift. Because remember, there wasn't nobody thinking about 90s clothing 10 years ago. You know what I mean? People was into the skinny jeans stuff. You know, people still dressing like rock stars and shit and all that. So, you know, let me stop cussing. But they were dressing like rock stars and all that. Remember that whole Ed Hardy movement and all that. So I didn't really too much care for that clothing and all like that. And it's no diss to people that rock Ed Hardy or whatever, but I just wanted to get some vintage stuff. I was in college at the time too, so it's like I wanted to get something fresh but for affordable price. So I was thrifting way before. Me and my dude, we was thrifting. My friend at the time, we was thrifting before the whole Macklemore thrift store song and all that stuff, man. And we was getting like 90s pieces, like stuff that you can find now in stores. All that stuff was like used. And this was before thrifting was even cool like it is now. You know what I mean? And then I feel like, yeah, thrifting kind of had like somewhat of a peak a little bit, like a few years ago. But I think it's still relevant because if I like, you know, you post up a few thrift videos, you definitely gonna bring an audience, like on YouTube. So we was doing that, and we was fresh, man. We was like fresh. And we would like have boat shoes and everything. Now the boat shoes wasn't used. We bought the boat shoes new from Walmart at the time. This before we got back hard in the kicks, like hard in like fall of 2010 or something like that. So especially me. So like I had a few little things at the time. This before I got what I got now and all that stuff. But people was like, damn, y'all fresh, y'all fitted, blah blah blah. And we like, oh yeah, thanks, whatever, blah blah blah. Then, you know, you had some of your naysayers, some of the people that just didn't really too much care for the thrift. You know, people was talking out the side of their mouth. Not in a bad way, but, you know, to each his own. Some people don't like wearing pre-owned stuff. I look at it like, hey, if you take it and wash it and clean it up, hey, people only know what you tell them. You know what I mean? So, but it's like, but you were just saying I was fitted. You know what I mean? But the good thing about those clothes, those 90s thrift clothes, you can still find it now to this day if you look hard enough, because now a lot of people got put on to thrifting. They got a whole eBay business based off thrifting. So now they go on, you got people out here that purposely find all the good stuff, all the gems like from the 90s or 80s or whatever, and they flip it on eBay and literally build a business like that. But before that, like a few years before that became like the wave, people didn't know about those gems. Used to have to spend like $60 to $90 on a jean jacket. But if you go to the thrift, you could spend like $30 on a jean jacket easy, and $20-$30 on a jean jacket, Levi. You know what I mean? Vest, Levi, Ralph. You know what I mean? Like Ralphie, Nike, Reebok, all the brand names and stuff, and brand names from the 90s. Tommy, Karl Kani, if you get lucky, like all those 90 brands. Maybe you'd be real lucky if you could find some cross colors, but throwback Ralphie. But yeah, so especially after, like, cause we was thrifting before the whole Macklemore song, and there was people around the country, I feel like, cause remember, you used to get talked down People used to talk down on you for shopping at the thrift. That used to be a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like now it's cool, but because the wave and the way stuff going now. But we was coming kind of out of that. It was people around the country, me included, my buddy included, I'm quite sure in other different cities and states and stuff. And the reason I know this is because I YouTubed it and a lot of people was doing it. I'm like, oh shit, there's a lot of people going to thrift. They thrifting. And they getting fresh too. Paul Cantu, he might have started in the early 2010s doing it. When I really got hip to him doing it, I was like, oh, it's people around the country, pockets of people doing this stuff, and they getting 90s stuff, and they getting fresh, and you know, and we just looking fresh. They never gonna put this stuff out. It's vintage. You can't find this. Only one of a kind. That was another thing too about going to the thrift, finding 90s pieces with the Tommy and all that, and all those other 90s brand Champion, Calvin Klein. They old stuff. Number one, it was broken in very well. Number two, you wasn't gonna catch nobody wearing that. Most of those pieces was one of a kind. Meaning like, they came out so long ago, the chances of somebody finding that exact one is very slim to none. Especially if you're in a different city and state. So, that's basically how it was. And Macklemore came out with the song. Okay, so then they kind of like breathing into popularity now. Somebody like Macklemore had to be around some people that was thrifting. I should make a song about thrifting. So it was people that inspired him to do it. So then, you know, popular culture, blah blah blah. You make a song about thrifting, people gonna start thinking about thrifting subconsciously, even if they never thrifted in their life, right? So people do that. And then it just started picking up like a wave. And I think it got to a point like where sometimes it depends on how hard you look, how good of a picker you are as far as thrifting. To me and my friends, like it got dried out because a lot of people started going to thrift. Like all the good stuff was leaving. Like people was buying it for themselves or gifts, you know, grandmas, who knows. Or it was like starting businesses on the side, like with eBay. I flipped a few pieces on eBay that I thrifted, and you know they go for a good decent amount, at least back then. But now the competition is so much bigger now. It's so much more competitive. I remember you used to easily, no matter what brand name jean jacket you could easily get like 30 from eBay selling a jean jacket on eBay. But now, shoot, man, if you don't set a reserve price or start your bid kind of high, you might actually sell a jean jacket for like $10 and might not make no profit if you ain't budget right or get it for the low. So you know, the competition increased. Now I wasn't in it for business reasons or whatever, but I was just in it for style reasons. I really just like the clothes. I like the broken in feeling. Again, I like the one of a piece thing. And I think the last people start slowly imitating 90s, like without the big brands. Like you got the H&M's, at least from what I've seen, the H&M's, the Forever 21s, they start mimicking those clothes, but obviously without the brand names. You know what I mean? Like, so it'd be like a Wow button up with like a damn a button up that's like very light, similar to the 90s, with that silky kind of like fabric, but it had like all these wild bright kind of like not pastel colors, but neon maybe like colors or earth tone colors or something like that. So then that happened for like a good 2 years or something like that. And then before you know it, these brands start slowly coming around again. Champion, because it was a good chance you could find Champion clothes at the outlets all over America, whether you go to Marshalls, Ross, all that stuff. You probably could still find a little bit now, but it really used to be a few years ago before these brands came back to the big stores. So those big stores start seeing us younger people or whatever, maybe somebody got in their ear like, yo, this 90s stuff these kids on, like, they the next wave. Like, that's the next wave. That wave came in, so you got Tommy back out, you got Champion back out. I remember when people used to not even mess with Champion all like that. People used to look at me and my dudes, you know, like, me and my dude crazy, like, what? Like, y'all wearing that? Like, yeah, we wearing Champion. Like, what's up? Like, that's what they was wearing in the 90s. Like, we fresh though, you know what I mean? So and you know, Ralph Lauren, that never really too much went out of style. That's like one of the mainstays, those always in. So you like, and I recently just thought about this conversation for this video because I thought about how Tommy came back and they got the Tommy pieces now, and I remember seeing stuff like that at the thrift. And yeah, man, that's basically it, man. I mean, that's basically it in a nutshell. It's just a big wave, and now the big stores heard about it and know about it, and you know, or at least the big brands, rather, I should say. And you know, they don't think they just really had to do was queue up the stuff from the 90s and re-release some pieces, really. And you know, like that Kith and Tommy collab shit, that's all they really needed with that. You know, Kith already hot for the moment, Ronnie Fieg is already hot for the moment, then you see that Tommy collab, even the sneakers look pretty decent from that collab. So long story short, that's basically it though, man. Like, this was probably a long story though, but just to wrap it all up, because I know I'm closing in on 16 minutes, my bad for keeping y'all all day. But the thrift wasn't popping all like that. It was us, me, other people around the country, all that. We was thrifting when it wasn't cool. Got talked about a little bit because people didn't. This one dude was like, yeah, who shops at the thrift, blah blah blah, who want to smell like old people. It was kind of funny though, but we still, time went on, people influenced it again, pockets of the country, people picking up, they want 90s shit, they want, you know, it's all coming up. And I think social media you can kind of blame too, because if you see somebody in Cali wearing a Guess clothing, like Guess, like that's a good example too. Like Guess wasn't, like they wasn't really popping like they are now, and they wasn't popping in like 2012 and all that. So that stuff was like cheap if you go and find it like at the thrift, and it'd be one of one pieces. Like, you know, now they got the little striped t-shirts, all your favorite YouTubers wearing them with the Guess thing and all that. Now, like, those pieces used to be hard to find, man. Like, you couldn't just, you had to go to the thrift to go find it. You couldn't just buy that for like $50 at PacSun or something like that. Like, you had to go fucking put in some work. So rate, comment, and subscribe, man. I don't want to go on any further though, man. Chime down below if y'all into fashion and all that. And did y'all see the wave? I don't know how old y'all are, but I peeped that a lot of my analytics, a lot of people that watch the channel is from 25 to 35, and then at 25 and under is probably like second most. So I know a lot of the people that's my age, between that 25 and 35 range, if you was into fashion at that time, definitely remember that shit happening. So peace.